Morning. So today's 30-minute yoga practice will focus on hips. So the key posture today will be pigeon, and we'll mainly be working lying or kneeling on the mat. So if you need padding for your knees, then please get some padding. Otherwise, we'll begin. So we're going to start by laying on our back. So come down onto your back, finding a comfortable position here. Just have the eyes closed, maybe hands on the tummy, and just take a few breaths here, just to settle into your practice this morning. Nice big breaths into your tummy. Take about 3 or 4 breaths here, just feeling your back and the back of your hips in contact with the mat. Notice if there's any tension in your back, shoulders. Just see if you can relax into the floor with the use of the breath. And then when you're ready, you can take your knees in over your tummy. Placing the hands on the knees, fingertips pointing towards the toes. Make sure your chin is tucked in and the back of the neck is nice and long, and you can have the eyes closed here. So continue with that deep breathing, and as you inhale, you're going to push the knees away. And then you're going to bring them back in on the exhale. Take a few more here. So we're just warming up the back, the lower back, as it's early morning, or maybe you're doing this another time of day, but it's always good to start off by warming up slightly the back. So take 2 or 3 more rounds here. Good. And then you're going to drop your right foot to the floor, and you're going to place your left calf over your right thigh into this kind of posture here. And you're going to bring your knee, if you can, you're going to bring your knee, your thigh, your right thigh in towards you, and you're going to interlace your hands behind your leg. So we're just starting to slowly move into the kind of position that you will be in pigeon later. So we're just easing ourselves into it and showing the body where we're going to work later on in the practice. So take some deep breaths here. If this is quite easy for you, you could even lift the leg up and pull the leg in a bit further, or you can take your hands and place them around the calf as well, just to increase the intensity of the stretch. So just see how you feel this morning, where you are with your body. Maybe you're stiff, or maybe you're not. So just pay attention to that and honour yourself and your body. And then when you've stretched out that side, you're going to place the left foot on the floor. The right foot comes over the top of the left foot again. Same pattern as we did before. Bring in the left leg in this time, interlacing the fingers behind, and you'll notice that one side will be tighter than the other. This is my tight side. So a few breaths here. Making this your last one. And then when you're ready, placing that right foot on the floor and then the left foot. And then you're going to roll up. So you can either roll onto your side, or you can just simply roll yourself up into a cross-legged position. And you're going to come into a cat position. So you're going to have your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips best you can. So we're going to, again, just start to get some movement into that spine area with a nice cat. So we're going to inhale, we're going to lift the chest, bring the shoulder blades together. So this cat's slightly different to maybe what you've done before. So on the exhale, you're going to pull your tummy in and you're going to start to take the hips back halfway between your original position and your heels. Stop when you're halfway, or you feel like you're halfway, and then you'll inhale and you'll bring the hips all the way back up to that neutral position, center position, into that up cat. Okay, exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull the tummy in, take the hips halfway, and you're going to tuck the head as well. Inhale, bringing the hips back to that starting position, lifting the chest, shoulder blades together, head comes up. Okay, good. So really have the eyes closed and focus on what's going on in your shoulders and your back of the hips. Trying to move with the breath. So as we exhale, we're moving into that downward position. And at the end of the breath, we stop. And then we start to inhale, and then we start to move on that inhale. And then at the end of the inhale, we stop. Okay, good. So let's do it 2 more times. Well done. And then just coming into a downward cat or a child's pose. Placing the head on the mat, taking the hand, stretching the hands in front of you. And then on the next inhale, I want you to walk your hands to one side. Being mindful not to overstretch, but we're just trying to open up the side of the body here. So you're going to stay in this side bend for maybe 2 breaths here. Big breath all into the side of the body. Feel that opening with the rib cage all the way up to the armpit. Exhale back to center, and then on the next inhale, you'll slowly move the hands to the other side. So just stretching now in the other direction, side bend. Opening up the sides of the body. One more breath here, and then we're going to repeat that. So exhale yourself back to center. And then inhale, walking your hands to the other side. Just going back to the side that you started on. Maybe you can stretch a bit more deeply this time. On your exhale, you'll come to center. And then you'll inhale yourself. Side stretch. Beautiful morning side stretch, opening up the side of the body, allowing the inhale to really feel and nourish your body. Exhaling back to center. Good. Well done. So coming up onto your fours again, into your cat position. And from here, we're just going to start again just to warm up the body really, as it's early morning. So from your up cat, so we're going to drop the shoulders into that up cat position that we did earlier. And you're going to exhale, you're going to tuck your toes, and you're going to push yourself into your downward facing dog. We're not going to stay, we're going to inhale and we're going to drop the knees back and we're going to bring the shoulder blades together into that up cat position. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to work inhaling and exhaling like this for a couple of breaths. Inhaling into cat and exhaling into your dog, just to get that the back moving, the shoulders moving, just opening up everything for the morning. So you might be really stiff. It's okay to have the knees bent in your downward facing dog. And you will have an opportunity in a bit to stay in your dog. But for now, we're just allowing the body to ease into that position dynamically. Good, so making that your last one. You'll drop your knees down to the mat. And we're going to go again. And this time we're going to stay... We're going to stay in the posture and we're going to kick one leg back into three-legged dog. So you're going to inhale, lift the chest, exhale into your downward facing dog. Before we lift the leg, let's just stay for a moment here. So if you want to wiggle the hips around, you can do that. Or some people like to walk the feet. So you decide. And then on the next inhale, you're going to lift one leg. You're going to stay here just for a few breaths, trying to keep the hips as parallel or as parallel to the floor as you can. And then you're going to look at your hands and you're going to bring that leg forward. So bringing that knee towards your nose. Let's do it 3 times together. And on this last one, we're going to bring the knee forward and we're going to step. Okay, into a nice lunge. You can place your back knee down if you want to. And we're going to stay here for a few moments. So from this position, you can work dynamically. So from here, we're going to come back almost into that kind of runner's stretch. Moving forward into your lunge. You're just working my thighs, backs of my thighs, my hamstrings are very tight today. So this is quite nice to do. And you might find that your leg doesn't go completely straight. Or it might do. And just work within your range. Just making this your last one. And then you're going to take your right hand and you're going to place it on the inside of your left foot. Walking that foot out slightly so you're coming into this kind of lizard position. And I'd like you just to stay here for a few moments, just seeing if you can open into that hip a bit more, taking some nice deep breaths. It might be available to you to even come down onto your elbows. It might be a bit too early for that, so you just decide what's good for you. So I'm just going to stay here. I'm enjoying that stretch. It's quite nice in my hips. And then I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to walk it to the center. And I'm going to come into a twist. So I'm going to twist towards my thigh, bringing the shoulder round, pointing the fingers towards the ceiling. If that feels a bit too much, you can take the arm back and place it on your sacrum and just have the intention to look up at the ceiling. So it's up to you how deep you go into the stretch, into that twist. It's still quite early and we haven't really done many twists, so just do the best you can, not forcing anything. Okay, coming out. So when you come out of a twist, we come out on an exhale. We come out on an inhale. We coming out on an inhale. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up into that lunge and you're going to take your foot back into your downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. And when you feel ready to, you're going to bring the left foot up into that three-legged dog. Couple of breaths. Trying to keep the hips parallel to the floor. And then on an exhale, bringing the knees towards the nose. 3 rounds. Inhale, taking the leg up. Exhale, bringing the knee towards the nose. And then on this last one, you're going to bring, so it's that same movement, and then you're going to bring the foot forward. I had to do that really quickly. Still on this side. So here, again, if you want to, you can drop that back knee. And then we're going to come into that movement of that runner's lunge. So the runner's stretch, into the lunge. Backwards and forwards a few times, just seeing if we can stretch out the hamstring and the front of the thigh on the other leg. Making that your last one, and you're going to come into that lunge, taking the left hand, placing it beside the left foot, coming into your lizard, seeing if you can relax into the stretch. If you want to place the elbows on the floor, feel free. I'm happy as I am. One more round of breath. Taking the right hand, placing it in the centre of the mat there, and you're going to twist towards the left leg. So you're going to come into the twist, take a nice big inhale, and then you're going to exhale into your twist. If it's more comfortable to place the arm on the hand on the sacrum, then please do that. It's actually more comfortable for me this side because I'm quite tight. And then on your next inhale, coming out of the twist, adjusting the hands back into the position, the starting position, tuck your toes, come into that high lunge, and then take that left foot back, return into downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees to the mat. Lift the chest. Exhale, taking the hips all the way back, this time into your child pose. So take a few breaths here in child pose. You can spread the knees if you want to, just to get more of an opening in the hips. And then pushing yourself back up into a cat posture. So we're going to go again, and we're going to take our pigeon, okay? So we're going to go from a cat position into a dog, and then from the dog we're going to step through into our pigeon, and then we're going to stay in our pigeon for as long as it's comfortable. It can be quite a painful posture for some people, so just work within your limits, what's comfortable for you. So from your up cat here, we're going to exhale, we're going to tuck our toes, And we're going to push ourselves into a downward facing dog. And then from here with the right leg, we're going to lift it up into that three-legged dog. And then we're going to step through. So on the exhale, we're going to step through, bring it all the way through. And instead of stepping the foot down, we're going to gently place the knee and the calf on the mat, coming into this pigeon posture. So come up onto your fingertips to give you just a bit of height. Your back foot should be, or your back leg should be nice and long. So maybe just have a quick look. Make sure that the leg is straight, it's not going out to one side or another. And you're here and you're comfortable. You can feel a nice stretch in the front of that thigh. The front foot is flexed, so the bent leg, the front foot is flexed there. Your shoulder blades are retracting like we did in the cat posture. Chin is tucked in. So just take a few breaths here. And just feel into what's going on with the thighs and the hips. And then if you feel ready to, and if you want to, you can come onto your forearms. You can even make a little pillow and place the head on the forearms. If that's not available to be on the forearms today, then you can just stay up. You don't have to come down. And then at any time you feel that it's too painful or you're uncomfortable, you can come out of this posture. So you'll come out by taking the leg back into downward facing dog. Let's do it together actually now. So I'm going to inhale back into my pigeon pose. I'm going to tuck the back, so the leg that's out long, I'm going to tuck the toes there. And then as I exhale, I'm going to push back and I'm going to go back into my downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, drop both knees to the mat. Up cat. Exhale, taking the hips all the way back into child's pose. Okay, and then when you're ready, coming back up into your up cat. Exhaling into your down dog. Lifting the left leg, the left leg on the inhale, and then exhaling, bringing the left leg all the way through into that pigeon posture. So walking the hands forward a little bit, coming up onto your fingertips, and coming into that pigeon posture, flexing the front foot. Just have a little quick look behind, make sure the leg is tracking in line with the hips and it's not flared out to one side or another. So from here, we're going to retract the shoulders, lift the chest. Imagine that you're a beautiful pigeon with that puffed out chest, shoulders retracted. Take a few breaths here. And if you feel you want to fold forward, coming onto your forearms, and feel free, so you can come into this kind of supported posture with the forearms in front of you, or you can make like a little pillow and place your head onto your forearms. It is slightly more intense this way, so it's just whether you can find some comfort, find some sukha, ease in this position. Take some nice deep breaths. When you're ready to come out, you want to push yourself back up into that pigeon posture, upward pigeon posture. You're going to place your hands flat on the mat, tuck that back toe under, and then on an exhale, you're going to push yourself all the way back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees to the mat. And then exhale, taking the hips all the way back into a child's position. So before we get too comfy in child's pose, I want you to come onto your back. On your back here, placing your hands on your knees. So we're just going to repeat what we did at the beginning of the class. Hands on the knees, inhaling, pushing your knees away, exhaling, drawing the knees towards you. 6 rounds. Once you've done your 6 rounds, dropping both legs to the mat, stretching out the legs, flat on the mat, just adjusting yourself, ensuring that your body's symmetrical as you come into your Shavasana. Retract the shoulders, take the arms out to the sides, palms up, tuck the chin, eyes are closed, and then you're just going to rest here for a few moments. So you can either stay resting here for a few minutes more, or however long you want to really, or if you feel like you've had enough and you're ready to get up, you're going to place your feet on the floor, arm overhead, gently roll onto one side and push yourself all the way up into a seated position. So coming up either cross-legged, or you can sit on your heels if that's more comfortable for you. So we're just going to place our hands over our heart centre, bow the head to the heart. If you so wish, offering some gratitude for the day ahead, offering some thanks for what you have in your life, the abundance, the ability to do yoga, practice online, whatever it is that you would like to offer gratitude from your heart, please do so. And from my heart to yours, thank you for showing up to class today. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Namaste.